शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये. Om 22nd shloka, that is yadruchalabha santushtaha dvandvatito vimatsaraha, etc. etc. And the overall context is that about the karma only. We have been talking only about the human nature of human action. An ordinary man, whatever karma he does, he has to experience the fruit of his karma. That is, in order to experience the fruit of the karma, he has to take another birth, because there are so many karmas in a human life, and the result of all karmas will not be experienced in this life only. So then, what about the case of a jnani? We have been talking about a jnani now, and Krishna has been saying, karmanya karmayah pasyed akarmani cha karmayah, a sort of riddle he was saying. That is, a person who knows that even if he is doing an action, it is not action. And if somebody is not doing an action, it becomes karma. Somebody is doing karma, it is not counted as a karma. Somebody is not doing any karma, but it is counted as a karma. So we discussed it in very great detail. I will not go into that. Then now, the 22nd shloka also talked about a jnani. This next shloka, 23rd shloka also is talking about a jnani. And it is also going to introduce another concept which we saw in the 3rd chapter also, the concept of yajna we are going to see, because this is a very important shloka. This shloka I will read first. Gata sangasya muktasya jnanavasthita chetasah yajnaya charatah karma samagram praviliyate. It says, it is again talking about a jnani only. So a jnani who is doing karma, a jnani, ideally speaking, a jnani gives up all karmas. There is what is called a karma sannyasa. But for many people, it may not be possible to do karma sannyasa, because we have come across what is called Rajarshis and also enlightened people like Rama, Krishna, etc. We never say that Krishna was not an enlightened man, Krishna was not a jnani, but Krishna was also engaged in so many actions. So what about his actions? What about the actions of the Rajarshis? What about the actions of various saints who are doing something for the welfare of humanity? So what about them? So that is the question. So the Krishna says here, Gata sangasya muktasya. Gata sangaha. Sangha is attachment. We know that sangha, attachment, takes place only because of desire. We desire something and naturally we get attached to that. So Gata sangha is a person who has gone above that desire. That is, first of all, he has no desire, and that is the reason why there is no sangha. If you have desire only, then you have got that sangha. Desire means I, mine, etc., etc. And I want this, I want this. Then you develop that attachment. So here we are talking about somebody who is a Gata Sangha, that is somebody who has gone beyond that attachment. Muktaha. Mukta also is, mukta means not bound, not attached, not bound. Attached is something, bound also is something. Bound is something different. Attached means this man does not have any sense of attachment to the work or to whatever he is doing. That is attachment, no sense of attachment. Not bound means whatever he is done, it is not causing any sort of bondage to him. It is not causing any other birth or anything like that. Suppose it causes a birth again and it gives some result, then he is bound. He is not bound by that. He is totally free. And he is also one, jnana avasthita chetasaha. Jnana avasthita cheta is the word. Chetasaha is Shashti Ekavachanam, if we want to know the grammar. Jnana avasthita chetasaha means a person who is very firmly established in the knowledge of Brahman. A person who is avasthita, stha means to stay. Avasthita means somebody who is very firmly established in the knowledge of Brahman. Not that he is a very learned professor or anything like that. A learned professor may also have a lot of paroksha jnana. Okay, this is what is called Brahma. Brahma is defined as so and so in so and so Upanishad, etc., etc. He may have knowledge, but he is not jnana avasthita. That is, he is not established in the knowledge that he is not different from that. That he himself is that. He is not different from that Brahman. So that is the jnana avasthita chetasaha. Not only he looks at everything as a manifestation in Brahman only. He looks at everything and he sees everything not as an object. Suppose he looks at an object, he doesn't look at it as an object, he looks at it as Brahman only. That is jnana avasthita cheta. He is sarvatra brahma darshanam. The commentators have said sarvatra brahma darshanam means he sees Brahman in all things. And the next word is yajnaya acharatah karma, and somebody who is performing karma for the sake of yajna. So this word yajna again is metaphorically used. This word, we now in this shloka and also the next few shlokas, this word yajna is metaphorically used. Not that somebody is sitting there. Yajna, we know. Yajna means there is somebody who wants to perform a yajna. Suppose I want to perform a yajna. I am called yajamani. Yajamana means somebody who is performing yajna. Yaj dhatu. Yajamana. Kriyamana. Kurvana. So something like that. Yajamana means somebody who is performing a yajna. So suppose I want to perform a yajna, then I collect lot of material. I collect so many kilos of ghee, so many kilos of so many mounds of firewood, and so many other things, so many clothes and various other things I mobilize. And I also mobilize the scholars who are well versed in all the four Vedas. There is somebody reciting Rig Veda, somebody Samaveda, Yajurveda, Atharvaveda, etc. And over them there is another person, a supervisor. So like that I need to mobilize so many things, and I have to put lot many oblations into the fire. So all those things are there, but here nothing is there. It is only a bhavana. Bhavana means you are only visualizing. You are actually offering something else there by means of your bhavana. By means of your bhavana you are sacrificing something. So what is that? Yajnaya acharatah karma samagram praviliyate. So here for this word yajna, the commentators have given the meaning loka sangrahartham, loka hitaya. A jnani is there, a jnani, again come back to a Rajarshi, come back to another somebody like Krishna, and so any other jnani. Okay, why go back to Krishna only? Somebody like Vivekananda, let us say, somebody like Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, or somebody like Ramana Maharshi. So they are also doing some karma. And what about their karma? Yajnaya acharatah karma means some loka sangrahartham. Somebody comes and then he asks a question to Nisargadatta Maharaj or Ramana Maharshi or somebody. So he is saying something. And not only that, somebody like Shankaracharya, he goes round the country and discusses with so many people and then says this is right, this is bad, etc., etc. That is, he is doing it for loka sangraha, for loka hitam. So these are the karmas. Yajnaya acharatah karma samagram praviliyate. Praviliyate means that totally gets dissolved. That totally gets dissolved means it is not going to cause another birth. Pravilapanam. Pravilapanam means it totally disappears. It totally doesn't cause any other birth. So here for this word yajna, third chapter also, there was one shloka saying yajna shishta ashinas santo muchyante sarvakil bishaihi, etc. We were seeing in the third chapter. We saw yajna shishta ashina. That is a person who performs his yajnas properly and then only what he eats. That is something which is, they are the people who are released from all types of sins, etc. That is what that shloka was saying. There we talked about what is called Pancha Mahayajna. Pancha Mahayajna means a Gruhastha. It is actually applicable only to a Gruhastha. It does not apply to a Brahmachari. It does not apply to a Sannyasi. And it applies to a Gruhastha who is a family man, whose duty is to take care of guests, etc., whose duty is to take care of so many other things in the society. A Gruhastha is the man who is supposed to feed the Brahmachari and also the Sannyasi. So he has got 5 compulsory duties which are called yajnas, which are compared to yajna. That also is metaphorical. Suppose he gives some food to animals, that is called Bhuta Yajna. And Atithi Yajna, he suppose there is a guest to his house and he gives food to that guest. So that is called Atithi Yajna. Then he studies his prescribed portion of the Veda, that is called Swadhyaya Yajna, also called Jnana Yajna. We are going to come to that also. Then there is another called Daiva Yajna. Daiva Yajna means he is also supposed to worship the deities, because he is also supposed to be a Astika. Astika means somebody who is a believer in God. He should not be an Astika. Then again there is what is called Pitru Yajna. He is also supposed to worship the elders. So these 5 things, they are called compulsory things, and these compulsory things are called Nitya Karma. We also remember the word Nitya Karma. So these 5 things, they are metaphorically called Panchamahayajnas. They are not literally yajnas. There is no fire, there is nothing there. So they are metaphorically called Panchamahayajnas. So there is one thing called Swadhyaya Yajna, and that Swadhyaya Yajna is study of the Vedas, etc. That is, of course, just for the sake of academic study. But in the Vedas, there is also another concept called Jnana Yajna. That Jnana Yajna is, that is a Jnani, his whole life, his whole activity, his whole life becomes a sort of Yajna. Whatever he does, it is somewhat like a Yajna. The whole life, whatever activities he does in his daily course of transactions, social transactions, all these things, they are so pure that they are metaphorically equated with Yajna. Because all his actions, there cannot be any sinful activity, because a Jnani can commit no sinful activity. So such a person, whatever he does, it is in the interest of in the interest of society. So that is why all his actions, they are called Yajna only. So in fact, this concept is actually taken from the Vedas only. Krishna is not newly bringing this concept in, because in the Vedas, particular mantra, Taittiriya Aranyakam, 10th part, that is Prapathakam 10, and it is called Anuvaka 64, 10-64 if you want to locate, if you can locate in Taittiriya Aranyakam. So here it describes the nature of life, the lifestyle of a Jnani. What is his lifestyle? That is, whatever he does, he is for the welfare of others only. Tasyaivam vidusho yajnasya atma yajamanaha. Who is the yajamana? When you are comparing or metaphorically equating with the yajna, who is the yajamani here? The person who is a jnani, he is the yajamani. Then what is the patni? In every yajna, the wife also is a very important participant. In any yajna, along with the yajamani, there is a need for his wife also sits there. Probably our people have introduced a very, very wise system, so that the wife compulsorily takes part in all the good activities of the husband. So the wife should not say, okay, go to hell with your guest, I will stay in the bedroom. And she should not say like that. She should come, and actually she has to give the aposhanam when the guest is being fed. So like that, the wife is compulsorily involved in so many activities. In a yajna also, okay, I don't like this yajna, okay, you go and perform, I will sit elsewhere. So she will not say like that. The wife also is seated, and the wife becomes a participant in all the dharma activities which the husband does. So anyway, here, what is the patni? In the case of a jnani, Shraddha is the patni. Shraddha, patni. Shraddha, that is, whatever he does it with extreme devotion. Devotion means not devotion to God. Extreme care, extreme meticulousness, extreme interest, very earnestness. Earnestness probably is a slightly more, a closer word to Shraddha. A very, very earnest manner he does. And then Shraddha, of course, it is also defined as Guru Vedanta Vakyeshu Vishwasaha Shraddha. That is trusting the Guru as a real guide. Of course, you have to trust somebody in life. And here you are trusting the Guru, and that is called Shraddha usually. But here you can take that meaning also, or earnestness, Shraddha, that is what you can take. Then Sharira Midma, his entire body is like the fuel, his entire body is like the firewood, and because in that yajna you also need a lot of firewood, and in that firewood you are pouring some ghee, and again you are putting some oblations. So the entire body, because whatever he does, because his whole life he has devoted only for just not for any type of selfish activity, but for activity in the interest of others. Then Uro Vedihi, Uraha means his own chest, he is the Yajna Sthala. Yajna Sthala means where that Yajna Vedi is put, and the fire is fireplace, that is the fireplace. His own Hridaya, that Uraha means the chest, is the fireplace. Then like that, then Hrudayam Yupaha, Hrudayam, the heart is, Hrudayam also means, in Vedanta, whenever Hrudayam comes, not exactly the blood pumping machine called heart, it is called, Hrudaya refers to the intellect. Hrudayam Yupaha. In the Yajna, there is what is called a Yupastambha. We are referring to the real Yajna of olden days. To that Yupastambha is actually a peg. And to that peg, some yajna pashu is tied. Pashu means an animal which is being sacrificed. We are talking about good old days. Why I should not say good old days, somebody may object. We are talking about the old days where they used to have a peg there and an animal used to be tied to that peg. So this Hrudayam Yupaha. Then Kama Ajyam. And what is the fire, what is the fuel you are putting into that? fuel is that kama, because that kama also has to be destroyed. And manyuh pashuhu, what is the pashu? Pashu means the animal. What is the animal which you are sacrificing? The animal which you are sacrificing is manyu. Manyu is, we know that word manyu, earlier we have come across several times. Manyu means anger. Namaste Rudra Manyava Uto Daishave Namaha, we say manyu is that anger. So manyu, kama yesha, krodha yesha, we have also come across in Geeta. Kama gets transformed into manyu, that is krodha. Krodha and manyu are one and the same. Manyu means anger. Because anger is the one thing which makes a man do all irregular things, all illegal things, all immoral things. So that is the reason why this anger and manyu, this desire and anger have to be destroyed. So this desire, he is putting it as a fuel, and that anger is the pashu. So this all figuratively or metaphorically we have to take. Then manyuh pashuhu, tapo agnihi. And what is the fire? The fire is tapas. Wonderful word, because tapas is, it gives two meanings. There is a meaning is Surya tapati, we say. Surya tapam, we say. Tapam, Surya tapa. Tapam is that fire, the hot sun, that is the heat of the sun is called Surya tapa. Tapa dhatu also means tapas. Tapa alochane, that is thinking, evaluating, analyzing, examining. These are all the meanings of tapas. That is you are inquiring into the nature of a thing. You are inquiring into reality. So that is tapas. So tapas, here two meanings. Tapo agnihi. Tapas means that which heats. Surya tapati or agnihi tapati. Then you suppose you put your hand into the fire, agnihi tapati, it burns. So this jnanam or this tapas or alochana or thought is something which is like an agni which destroys your kama. That means when you are having a desire, you are supposed to contemplate on that. When you are having krodha, you are supposed to contemplate on that. And on contemplation, naturally the kama also slowly dissolves and krodha also naturally dissolves. So that is the reason why people nowadays, psychologists, they advise us to do what is called mindfulness meditation. Suppose somebody is very angry, temperamentally is very, very angry, and he goes to a psychologist, and the psychologist says, okay, we will put him on some sort of this, mindfulness meditation. So this mindfulness meditation he is put, and then the person is saying he is there, and he is contemplating on his own anger, the cause of his anger, why he got angry, and then slowly he, by contemplating on the reasons for that, he slowly overcomes that anger. So that is what is kamaha manyuh pashuhu tapo agnihi damas shamayita. Damaha shamayita dakshina. Dama is control of the senses, control of sense organs. That is what is the dakshina. In a yajna, you are supposed to give dakshina to the ritviks. And what is the dakshina you are giving here? That is dama. You are not ill-treating anybody in your life. You are always treating everybody in a proper way. That is what is the dakshina. So the extended metaphor, it goes on like this. There is no time right now. We will see tomorrow. Harihi Om Tat Sat.